Hi, everybody. It's Ryan from Pie Records, and I'm here with Sheri Corleone. And she is a busy, busy person. She's got a lot going on. She does a blog, she's a musician, and she has a radio show. Hello, Sheri.
Hey Ryan, how you doing?
Very good, very good. It was good to chat with you before the meeting that we could get to know each other, and I was very happy about that.
Nice, yeah, very happy about it too. Welcome to the cave.
Lots of books and records.
Oh yes, a lot of records, always.
So I want to talk about the first thing is that I want to talk about, which interests me very much, is your blog. You're the first blogger that I've interviewed, and I'm very interested to know the content of your blog and how it got started and
Mm-hmm.
what's your purpose, your intent.
All right, well, it's actually a radio show on a blog, but it has different kind of entrance to get in tune in the radio. But it's mostly a blog. And I started with it around 2012, I think it was. And we got in touch with Frankie Sviller, which is the one who started the Radio Lux. And they invited me just as Bang 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 Girl to share some of my favorite tunes, and they loved it so much and me also, so we said like, all right, we have to continue with this. And then I became in one of the main DJs of the radio station too. And well, the radio show, it's called It's Monsters Meeting Time. And the idea I have there is to welcome different kind of music, but totally rock and roll, of course, but from all times, from different genres and all that. So we start always with super oldie stuff like intro, then we go to 50s rockabilly, then we jump to some rhythm and blues, and then we go traveling in time like to the garage punk of the 60s and weirdo tunes in between, some surf, trash, and then we always arrive to the current times with the latest bands and or 90s ahead. That's my
So
idea, to enjoy music and to break the squareness of some people to just be a rockabilly. No, I don't hear 60s or da. It's like you find so crazy, awesome music in all times and all kind of genres and all that. So that's my go.
so where can people find your radio station?
Mm. You find it on your phone. There is an app. It's called just Radio Lux, and then you find it on internet. And I think you just type Radio Lux, and then you find like different applications that you can get in tune
Okay.
in the show. And it's all the time going on, like from the morning till the night. There are many DJs from all over the world, really, from Europe, from America, from South America, from Europe, of course. So it's always going on the radio on air.
Is it is it fun to discover new bands and put like independent musicians on your show?
How do I do that?
Uh, is it interesting for you to discover new music and
Oh yes, of
yeah?
course. Always. And when I think you attract the same kind of people. You are in some movement or some taste or whatever. So then you get in touch with record labels, with record dealers, with DJs around, with the musicians totally into music, and also you all the time are like feeding each other with new things we find. And well, also my lover, Sweetie Pie, it's totally into music too, and he used to organize like festival, a garage festival called Junkyard Festival here in Rotterdam. And so yeah, he always finds some new things. We share all the time, and also the friends around us are the same vibe. Also, you find new stuff on looking on Bandcamps or the record labels. You get in often to see what's happening around and what new bands are. And one band also dragged you to another band and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I absolutely know what you mean.
Yeah. And also friends, I mean, like they just intro. Also, I have with because of the radio show, friends or people I just didn't even know send me message like, hey, do you want to hear my new album? And then goes on like that, very natural way.
So I listened to some of your music, Bang Bang Band Girl, and I love that type of music, the Cramps, and with the horrors elements. And you're working on some new things, but you have a lot of tunes. You want to tell me about your band? You have many bands.
Yeah, well, nowadays I have Bang 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 Girl is like the main project. I mean, the main band. I mean, one woman band, so very busy with myself. And I have also the synth punk, the minimal synth punk. I lived like 2 years in Peru, and then I got in this band Varsovia, and it was really interesting because before this some of the friends were also in other band, mostly no wave and punk and this kind of stuff, and the other fella was totally into synthesizers and electronic music. So then me, there was like with the 50s thing, with the garage punk and blah blah blah. Wow, we did a very cool connection of things that eventually were like kind of new in a way, but also with a kind of 80s sound because of the minimal synth punk, and all that
Yeah.
industrial things and all. So yeah, that was very cool. We released a CD in 2014. Then it came a re-release on vinyl just last year because of this Mexican horror series on HBO. There was like a re-boom of the band, and now we are like busy on the second album. That's
What?
one of the bands. Mm?
Oh, what show is that your song is on?
Oh, it's a Mexican or horror series. It's called Los Spookies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't really seen it, but I've seen because I think it's not here in Europe yet, or I don't know really. I don't have HBO, but um, it's going really wild. The Mexican kiddos are really like totally into Varsovia, and it's really sweet because it was for me at least like something pretty old already, and suddenly there was like poof, a re-explosion of it.
Yeah.
So nice, yeah. And then it's well, Bang 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 Girl. It's a one woman band, and yeah, I'm really busy because I just finished some tunes for the next LP. Well, there was a split on Trashworks that is still on sale, so you can find it there on Trashworks. And it's 6 songs, my side. And yeah, I like it a lot. It's some spooky tunes, a bit smooth, a bit like a dreamy thing, and then with some rockabilly vibe, but with my energy on it. So things get a bit of out of context, not exactly rockabilly from the 50s or something. It gets more mixed up on other other things. And now I'm recording for the next LP that would come on Voodoo Rhythm Records. And then after that, when I go for another LP that is coming for by Great Records from here from Netherlands.
Okay.
So that's what I'm into at the moment.
I
with the
love
second album with Varsity as well.
I love talking to you about Twin Peaks, and that element certainly shines through on some of your songs.
That's cool. I never really think like, okay, I'm gonna make a Twin Peaks tune or I'm gonna make a rockabilly thing or anything, because I think this melomaniac thing I have in me, I can have a plan for a song, but eventually while I'm in it, things are changing.
Yeah, yeah.
And you are changing from the gentle person you are into a monster. Eventually you are surprised with your own recordings, and that's something I don't want to cut. I think it's really interesting how uh, the sound itself can guide you to new things you were not really thinking to do. And so, well, when you find Twin Peaks or something in my music, yeah, of course I am flattered, because I love the music of Twin Peaks, but there is never really a direction or something I really want to do, but it's there, and that's super cool. It means like it's something like runs on my blood or something.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
your music is aggressive, but yet very sweet, and I love the combination. Um, you play all the instruments.
Yeah, I play all the instruments. Normally, live, I play guitar and drums, but my idea is to add more things around, and for instance, use the loop on the guitar and leave the guitar playing something and go in there and play woo, the theremin
Uh
or
huh.
oscillators or all kind of stuff. I used to record on a studio, like with this stuff. This is a oscillator,
Oh
the
yeah,
noisy Sheri.
yeah.
And well, but of course sometimes I have collaborations, like I was telling you before about Walter Daniels. He, one song that's coming in some other release, he recorded mouth harp or harmonica.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that's coming very soon, that is called the sensational imaginary soundtrack of one woman band traveling from hell and back. Don't forget. It's really catchy.
Yeah.
You can forget that. And there I have Walter Daniels playing sax for a cover of Blue Moon Baby. Really, really nice. Walter Daniels is always so nice to have as a guest on songs, because it's a lovely, lovely guy, a super cool friend, but also is really nice with his harmonica. It's awesome. You have to check Jack O'Fire and the Oblivions, Del Valle. They have also, he has his own bands, and he's super active, always like making collaborations everywhere, and it's really cool. Walter,
Very.
Walter Daniels, 68 comeback and all that scene.
What are some of the things that you talk about and you write about in your radio show, your blog?
Oh, in the blog. Well, in the blog, I don't really write anything, because what I do there is a radio show. So in my radio show, I like to, what I commented before, I like to play different tunes, like exotica things, and in some line that one tune connect with the other, but not necessarily the same genre or the same kind of sound. And that's for me super interesting, how a really super punk rock tune can then connect with a very special surf thing, not the boring surf for the opera stuff like grannies. No, like interesting things like crossovers, that kind of more interesting stuff, not too stuck in the same always.
Yeah.
um that's mostly what I do in the radio show, and I also share a lot of trailers and this kind of funny stuff from films old films or cult films or funny sentence I found somewhere. I like to play with this and the songs. So Faster Pussycats Kill 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 are always there for sure to the Satana. Yeah, and I like to play like in that way, like of kind of message of the song with the trailers and things like that,
Yeah, yeah.
like an episode. Yeah. And well, that's what I do with the show on the blog.
And the Messer Chops did the Twin Peaks twist.
Oh yeah, true. You like it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
I,
I don't know. Hmm?
I'm a guitar player, so I really like Oleg.
Ah, cool. Yeah, Oleg plays really awesome guitar. He's very good on it. And I think he also makes the production and the mixing and all that. So, you know what I like of Messer Chaps is really the very, very early stuff of Messer Chaps. It's really interesting, a lot of twisting for sure, and like more experimental things, mostly like the 60s experimental French scene, you know? And it's really cool. If you didn't hear this, go ahead because it's really cool. Trashworks is releasing a lot of this stuff from the early, I mean, 2003, you know, to 2006. That those kind of records, they had released only on CD and now are on vinyl. They're super cool.
Awesome. So you're in Rotterdam, but people can find you everywhere. Why, why did you choose Rotterdam?
Well, actually, I've been kidnapped by my sweetie pie. I was before living in Berlin, and well, I have some friends here in Rotterdam, so I was coming often. And the last time I came, I never came back. We went together with my sweetie pie to take all my things, and since then I'm here in Rotterdam, and it's a very cool city. Um, well, in the time not with Corona shit, of course, there
Yeah.
were fair quantity of gigs, and if not in Rotterdam, Netherlands is kind of a small place or country to travel around, so you can go to other cities and catch the gig that didn't happen here or whatever. So it's really nice. The people is really cool. A lot of DJ sets and things like this, and yeah, that's it. It's a very friendly, nice city. I like it a lot. Very fresh, full of canals everywhere, and ducks and swans, seagulls, the gangs.
So I want to touch on the French scene which you mentioned. Did you spend some time in France?
Yeah, well, I used to go there very often. I got many friends there. The owner of the radio station, Radio Lux, is also French, and I always been really attracted to the 60s scene of France. And since then, you get more and more into this intro stuff from the 60s French music. But yeah, I used to go a lot to France. I like it a lot. The country is really beautiful. But my favorite place, I guess, is Breton at the north. It's so really so beautiful just to travel around. It's really cool, and the people is really nice. And well, I also had this the first 7 inch. This one, oh, I wasn't prepared, but eventually was here. And let me
Oh,
see. That's it.
oh yeah.
This it was the first 45 7 inch released on Kiss My Ass Records, and Kiss My Ass Records is a very small one from Nantes. It's also north of France, in the area of Breton. So from there, also have a lot of contact with French festivals and gigs and that way. C'est voilà, c'est ça avec la France.
So I love the fact that you travel and got to experience everything in Europe.
Yeah, that's super.
I find that very interesting. Um, being from the USA, I don't travel as much as I probably should, but I'd really like to know what it's like, what it was like for you in Berlin. A lot of great music coming out of Berlin.
Oh yeah. Well, Berlin for really a long time has been like kind of a cultural capital in a way, and it's really crazy. It's totally different like all the rest of Germany. The people, it's most of the people in Berlin are foreigners, like American fellas, South American, from other places, from Europe, from Japan, from everywhere. So it makes it super, huge variety of things going on. And well, you have there a lot of electronic music, but experimental and industrial stuff, like from Einstürzen the Neubauten kind of stuff, but also a lot of garage, a lot of rock and roll. And there were by then a lot of super cool venues and little bars and everything, but everybody totally into rock and roll and very active. Berlin, because now of course is more quiet because of the thingy going on around, but has
Yeah,
been always super active and very interesting on cinema and other arts and exhibitions. Yeah, Berlin is super cool, especially like if you live only doing DJ sets and playing around or chiefing the door of some another gig or something. Then Berlin is the place to be and live with a little budget, and you can still eat well and rent a place and blah blah blah. Of course, these things always change because eventually you have like the full explosion of students arriving in town and blah, and then the rents go up, and then so it goes like. And now exactly, I don't know how it's going. I know a lot of friends are pretty bored because this activity I'm talking about at the moment is not really currently going on. So, but we keep
so what,
hopes.
yeah. One thing in America that is sorely lacking is rock music on the radio, but there's a huge rock scene in South America and Europe, and I'd love to talk to you about that.
Hmm. Well,
So
in Europe, it's. You want me to talk? You
yes.
wanna talk me? Okay. Right. All right. Tell me about it.
Oh no, I don't. I'm asking you.
Okay. All right. Well, the exactly what was exactly the question? Sorry.
Oh well, in America, there's not as big of a rock music scene
Mm.
as there used to be, but Europe has a huge rock scene. Can you talk about the different scenes and how they overlap?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the fact that it's so easy to travel around along Europe, like from Spain, from Portugal, from Germany, blah, blah, people is like traveling a lot and influencing in a way one to another on the music and the gigs and sharing uh, the contacts and all that. So plus the American bands and the South American bands or all the overseas bands coming up makes it super active. Maybe that could be the reason of that. And South America has a very cool scene, but everything is like in the states. Everything is so isolated to the other city or the other country, that it
Yeah,
makes it so much difficult to tour and to make connections. And for some reason, normally South American people think like they have so little or gear or money or stuff to do their things. So they are always kind of dreaming to come to Europe because it should be everything very easier. But it's not really like that. I mean, it depends always what your action is, how, like, you
Yeah,
understand. I mean, it's difficult to everyone have an instrument or to go uh to a rehearsal room or stuff like that. You require of money for fucking everything. So yeah, it would be the same
yeah,
everywhere. But here the point is like, of course, you have more different kind of bands and more activity because of the people traveling around is just much easier. And in a way, the idea I have from Europe, it's like people, it's more into, well, not everyone of course, but it's a big community that is about music. They are really waiting for something new, not for the same thing they are listening for 10, 20 years, same garage punk thing, you know. So if you have like a new thing to give to the scene, they really are totally grateful, and they open doors for you and make connections and everything. So while maybe in South America or America not that much, but in South America more square in some kind of genre, like, okay,
yeah.
I'm psychobilly, I just have to be super fast and tall, and oh, that's too slow, then fuck it. That kind of behavior, in a way, it's just not really helping to the scene, I think. And here there is more open mind in that context.
That leads me right into my next question. Um, from I'm obsessed with documentaries, music documentaries, and I can't remember which one it was, but one of them said you could go to an Iron Maiden show at like 7 o'clock, and then after the show you'll be at like a techno club. Do you find that most people are open to the extreme types of music? Like they're very open to new things.
Yeah, I think so, but it depends of the people anyway. I mean, that thing you are talking about, I lived in Berlin. I went to some really chilling, jazzy afternoon. And then later they went to a rock and roll thing that passed to the punk rock stuff and ended up in a techno party at 6 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
That I lived that up there
That
in a
sounds
way.
that sounds joyful to me. Just
Yeah, cool.
like the perfect day, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's really cool. Like, yeah, as much you can enjoy of different things, of course, is super positive, I think. Hmm. And it's
So
just so good when you are in some town or something that you can go the whole night to different venues or parties and enjoy it full time in that way. It's yeah, of course.
awesome. Well, I really New York is kind of like that, where you could go to maybe a hardcore show on one side of the street, but then there's a ska band on the other side of the street, and you kind of
Hmm.
sometimes you go between the two. That's kind of fun.
Ah, for sure. Sounds super cool.
Um,
New York got a very cool scene for sure. Like
yeah,
into the punk, the rockabilly, and the no wave, and yeah, not too super encapsulated on something specific, but a lot of rock and roll.
yeah. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about your connection to people here in the states. I know a mutual friend, Art Bursa, introduced us, and I want to know how you guys connect and and how you kind of get the word out there in the scene in the United States?
hmm Well, then it's mostly about the radio show again, like sharing stuff. He sent the tunes of the bands he's releasing in the record label, and then we are commenting about music and talking about these bands and sharing tunes. I show my stuff as well, like, hey, I just recorded this and that, and he's like, oh yeah, super cool, I really dig it. I think you could also connect with this friend and that,
Yeah,
like normal. And then, well, my father is from San Francisco. I have some friends, DJs, also in New York, Greg and Novak. It's also the Crypt Digger in Florida. And well, I know Walter Daniels and I know Bob Bird. We did a radio show with Bob Bird as well. And yeah, I have quite cool friends in the States for sure, like Marco Butcher. I don't know if you know him, but he was a one man band before, and now he's doing like different kind of stuff. But also Rob Kennedy from New York as well, and some friends in California. But everybody totally into music. That's like my environment always,
yeah.
just about the cool tunes. Yes.
So one of the things you were telling me about is before the interview started is some new stuff that you have coming out that you're working on. I always tell everybody that's working during these times during COVID that I'm very excited that people are being productive. Do you find that that's a way to kind of keep your head straight?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing to do is to get productive instead being there crying about something you just cannot change, because as much you would like to go on a party, on the gig or blah blah, of course I understand that. I also want to be in gigs and I would like to welcome all the friends coming from the States again on shows up here, and I would love to go on tour again and all that. But the times are not for this kind of activity at the moment. So what can we do if we are musicians and working on some kind of art, whatever you do, like painting or sculpture, or even if you didn't do anything like this, then you can just get busy learning new things or experimenting with new stuff. And I think it's always the way to go. Not even when there you can go everywhere. It's always cool to try to do your own stuff. And while being a band, and you cannot travel, you cannot play, then you use your time making new records, or
Yeah,
making videos for your songs, or reading or writing songs, whatever. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, totally.
yeah, very cool. Um,
Mhm.
so sometimes I like to talk about the gear that people use. What is your guitar preference? Your guitar of choice?
Oh, well, nowadays I love Mustang, Fender Mustang for sure. It's beautiful surfing guitar, always good. But now myself, I have an Modema Italia, beautiful glitter red, also surfy guitar, solid, solid sound, really awesome. I love the guitar. And before that guitar, I had a 60s Japanese Teisco. It's a semi-hollow guitar, really cool too, but oh, this modem I really sounds so much better than actually not really playing too much of the Japanese one at the moment. But it's a cool guitar, looks really beautiful. And I also have a Japanese 60s Tiger drums, a small one. I love 60s instruments, and I don't like it too big for a one man band to have a huge bass drum like you
Yeah,
need something in balance. So now I have this small one I really love, and yeah. I had also a synthesizer and Arturia. I haven't really recorded too much for Bang 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 Girl with this, but I plan, so get ready.
Awesome.
And I have now this theremin. But for gear live, I used to play with these drums. It's bass drum and snare, sometimes hi-hat too, and the guitar with some pedals. Always reverb, of course. I'm a reverb junkie. I love reverb, so always reverb on my guitar. And I also use loop station just for some tunes because I don't really like to go too crazy on the loop because I like the organic rhythm you get playing
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You see, I like to change things if I want in between the song or whatever. So yeah, not too much loop, but eventually I use it to go on with it, make some noise over it or whatever. So I have that tremolo, always big muff.
So one thing
So
I get to
I mean,
ask one thing I get to ask you about, which I'm very happy. I didn't get to ask Keith Blackenstaff about the theremin when I interviewed him, but I want you to explain to me how you learned how to play the theremin because it's very abstract. It's like
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the point of the theremin. It's a very versatile and beautiful instrument that you gonna find a way to play it yourself. Nobody can, or maybe somebody can teach you how to make the tones if you really want to play like Clara Rockmore or something like. So you are making a proper melody with tones and everything. So then you have to really learn, and it's really interesting because it goes with your fingers. So if you press like this, it would be some tone, but if you go a little bit up, it's gonna be something else, and then with the finger like this and that, so it's something totally very experimental and very cool. I couldn't tell you that I'm super expert on the theremin or something because I actually have it for a short time, but I always wanted to have one. And I did my first recording for No More Hot Dogs to add like the spooky thing, like, "Woo!" So it goes a bit wild, like, in the way of John Spencer in a way, like, like a crazy thing. But that can be like John Spencer or anything because, again, it's going to be with your movement, with your energy, and what you are listening, and more or less you think it fits what you are doing. It's super interesting. I think I don't have even a 1% of the experience on this instrument. I think it can go really far. Can do so many things on it.
so
And I am very experimental. I really love. Sometimes I play like knives for the show, for the songs, or some weird whatever thing I have around, and I think it would fit with this sound. Need some metallic sound there, or like explosion thing, or something that hit just the floor, whatever. I mean,
it's very interesting.
hmm, right. Yeah, it's super cool. I love oscillators and all that. So that's like in the. I think nowadays people is a bit more open to play different things on punk or on garage or on surf on that kind of stuff. But before, like some years ago, I guess some 10 years ago or something, it was like an oscillator, a synthesizer. Oh fuck no, punk. Oh no, you understand what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
like these
yeah,
people totally square in the genre or whatever electronic thing. It would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah.
I have to keep the punk. And well,
Some
it's
some
super
uh
cool.
some people are purists and they don't like things changed very much.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm totally not that. I love that things get weird, that gets like gives you something new. provide some new atmosphere or whatever. I love Joe Meek, for instance, what he did in the past with the I Hear a New Word. Oh, fuck, so awesome. Yeah, for the time, he was extremely weird though doing this. Awesome sound. Weird techniques of recordings and everything, but really so crazy interesting. I think you need to experiment on your music. You have to give it a time to discover new things that go totally to you, to your nature. Okay?
Very cool. Very cool. I want to get into technical stuff with you. Some more technical stuff. I know you record at home, but I'm sure in the past you've recorded on tape, analog. Um, and I hear some bands are going back to that. What's your opinion on that? How do you feel about that?
Tape recording. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the point is like for me, the digital recording type, it's just easier, and it's something you can travel around to and record other friends or record yourself, record a jam or whatever with this home studio equipment, like a little sound card with 4 channels or something. And well, you need to find something that still gets some organic sound and don't make it too digital sound, and recording with analog pedals and that kind of stuff to keep still like a bit of rough texture in your sound. Now, the tape recording, I think, is really awesome because exactly that. Everything gets like it's a feather sound in a way, and it's also very organic in the time of recording. When you are there, everything is there. You have to record, and that's what it is. And fuck it. So you really have to get into your stuff and I don't know, rehearse it right or whatever, but they have the proper idea of what you want to get of your recordings. While the digital, you can fuck up more. So in a way, it's like, okay, fuck it, next time, okay, but and then you have like I don't know many tracks, and then you check and you choose the best. So the two techniques have advantages in a way. I think tape, it's a really beautiful way to record, but you also need a super cool gear. I don't have that one. I mean, on
Yeah.
analog stuff to record. So, but for instance, if I want to get like a megaphone effect on my voice, then I record with the megaphone. I
Oh,
won't
okay.
put the effect on the and yeah, of course, gonna have a lot of crap of feedbacks and weird
Yeah.
thingy there. But well, that's what it is. That's how a megaphone sounds like, and that's what I like of the megaphone sound. So, you know, so you make a compromise also in a way, give a very trash thing, but then also in balance, like to make it work out properly. Mhm.
You kind of like to keep it as organic as you can.
Yes, I like that for sure.
So,
But I also like,
oh, go ahead.
I also like to, but I think I already told you this. I like to add different things and just try how they sound. So in that way, the digital way of recording would help you to check again your things and choose what is really working for your tune or not. You know.
What is
So
what is the easiest software you use to record for budding musicians and people as myself who is not as technically savvy?
what is it? Sorry, the what?
What software do you use and what's been more efficient for you?
Kind of sound, you mean?
The software, the program
Ah,
that
okay.
you record with.
Sorry. Yeah, because I have like a little feedback here, so I got a bit
Oh, okay.
confused. I use the Ableton. Ableton Live 10. It's the latest version of the software, and it's very easy to use. I had this sound card. It came with Pro Tools. Oh, but Pro Tools, it can be super pro,
Yeah.
can have super pro tools, but it's for me too complex. To me, it's also like Ableton is also super digital and all, but I don't use anything from the software. I use it just really to mix and to record. But I
Okay.
wouldn't really go with effects from the software on it and stuff. And there's some people that love these tools from the digital softwares, but I don't know. I'm a bit primitive for still for that kind of stuff. So I prefer to record with what I have. I choose the setting of sounds I want, and then I would just mix things on this Ableton and record, of course. And I think that's super friendly, easy to use, and while you're using, you learn more new things that can be useful for your recording or for the mix or whatever. And that's for me the easiest software. I know Cubase and other ones, but Nuendo was like in the 90s or something.
Uh-huh.
But they were just too super complex, too much stuff. I don't know.
What what band are you recording the theremin with?
What I record with?
The theremin. Where what band are you using that in?
Oh, the theremin. Uh, the theremin is an instrument that works with earthquakes. So you need to put it like in the middle of the room or something and not crush with too many things. And I use it far away from the amplifier, and then I put the microphone against the amplifier, and that's how I get the sound of it. And I use it on songs like Heartbreak Hotel. I have like a weird
Oh
version
wow.
of this classic one. You have to see the video. It's also made in Rotterdam, so you can see the old part of the harbor
I love the
where
videos I've seen so far.
Sweet, nice. Well, that one is really cool. And you find the theremin, but it's also a nice video because it's in the old red light street of the city. It's not
Okay.
working like that anymore, but it was like the classic red light area because there was the harbor, and it's really cool. Well, then you have there the theremin, like more spooky and really nice. But that time that was recorded by a friend of mine, Veronique, which is really she is for years playing theremin. So I invited to join on the tune and add the spookiness to the song. And well, until now I just recorded No More Hot Dogs to do like a hysterical, also spooky mood.
That is I've had such a great time talking to you and picking your brain. Uh and I look forward to checking out your radio show and listening to your music. And we're gonna play some of your music on Pure Idiot Radio, which I'm very excited to get to hear more of. Uh,
Woo!
is there
Thank you very much.
message you want to end with?
Well, just thank you very much for the interview. I also had a super cool time and a very nice Austrian wine with it. And well, just let me know everything. I want to get tuned and also help with the promotion of what you're doing. I think it's super cool. It looks really nice, your environment there.
Thank you.
7 inches there on the wall instead heads.
Thank-
So good.
Uh,
Pulp Fiction
like
there.
Pulp Fiction.
Beautiful. Awesome soundtrack. How nice.
Oh my God, yeah.
Really cool. Great. So yeah, thank you very much. It's super cool. I say stay tuned on It's Monsters meeting time. It goes on air every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Europe, but I always put all the timing for different locations in the planet for you to can catch it. And well, soon is coming the sensational. How was the title? Sensational imaginary soundtrack of one lady band traveling from hell and back. It's coming soon enough. I'll let you know. So yeah, stay tuned. Some news are coming up.
Wonderful, Sherry. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy, and I can't wait to hear the new stuff from you.
Right on. I'll send it as soon as possible.
Have a great day.
And thank you very much.
Oh, thank
You
you.
too. All right, Ryan. Have a good one.